My path of yoga, in fact, I was not knowing what yoga is, and but I happened to because I was boy who wanted to run away from the home. So I ended up in a traditional ashram where they were teaching meditation and Indian philosophy. And once I studied that, then I decided this is what I want in my life. And then I continued. I studied with my master about 3.5 years. Then I went to another master called Swami Dayananda. I spent again 3.5 years with him. And then I did not wanted to be in the ashram. I wanted to start my own independently with my own thoughts, my own feeling. And that's where I started introducing yoga to the people because direct philosophy is not going to work for the people. And I discovered that the main requirement of the humanity or the people, whether in the East or the West, is keeping the body in a good shape and free from diseases and sickness. And that's where I targeted and started teaching to people yoga. And then afterwards, no stop. Keep on doing for almost more than 20 years. That it is a question of what is the need. So what I found that people in the West, they have a more mental stress, mental agony, mental problem. Whereas in East, particularly like India, Nepal, Thailand, people are more looking for the physical problems with his health. And then second thing is the food and the money. So their requirement is more earthly, whereas the West has a requirement not earthly. They don't look for money or other thing, but they look for well-being, mental well-being. Physically also they are quite fit, but what they are missing is the mental well-being. And while teaching yoga, even though it is a physical, looks like a physical exercise, but for me, I have studied philosophy. So philosophy, Indian philosophy, nothing but the spiritual psychology. And this spiritual psychology is really helping going to root of the problem, and which I am dealing through my teaching yoga and practice of yoga, and which is beneficial for a lot of people. And that's why I have got my own following, which always want to be in touch and want to learn more and more. And also I have been working with Sonia for many years, Indigo, where we used to have a lot of people. I have been to Cyprus, I have been to mountain retreats, I have been to Mallorca. So all these places I have been, and now I am here in Cape Cod. How? Yeah, so for me, the yoga in the West, some people are very traditionally, seriously working on absolute with the yoga, integrating yoga philosophy, integrating the tradition, integrating that concept. But many people, they are just taking a physical part, which is okay. And but some people are defaming yoga by using the name yoga and telling that beer yoga or let's say lesbian yoga or nude yoga. So these are the very insulting for the tradition which has been from thousands of years, because Hindus don't oppose this. So people are taking disadvantage of with the yoga, adding the different things, which is not very nice because it is very respected word, and this word in affects millions of the lives around the world. So I think people should raise their voice in that way. So for me, people those who are bringing little changes, which is according to need of the West, according to the need of the place or the students. So we can just teaching only by asana practice and pranayama itself. It helps the people to calm down their mind, calm down their anxieties, fear, and make them very rooted into itself. And then second stage automatically, I am hoping that it will develop. Then they will be interested in deeper meditation, and they will be interested also knowing the philosophy behind it. So, which is philosophy is nothing but the very first sutra of Patanjali talks about Atha Yoga Anushashanam, which means discipline of yoga. And second sutra immediately talks about the mind. So mind is the problem and mind is solution. So whatever problem we are facing in the world, it is all based upon the mind. Mind means ego. So once we learn to understand and handle our own ego, then naturally the life of the East and the West are going to be better off. Because whatever wars and the fights are going on, it is the fight of the two egos. That's it, nothing else. So I think world need more understanding with reference to how the mind is functioning. So once you understand the mechanism, not get caught into the mechanism, but use the mechanism in the right way. It's something like the mind is also a mechanism, and it is an instrument. An instrument has to be handled properly. If you handle properly, then naturally the life is going to better off your life and the life of the others. It's like I'm using a tractor, a knife, or a gun. It can be positive, it can be negative. So the mind. So I think we need to work more, bringing more awareness towards the philosophy of the yoga, so the people can more integrate and then bring the transformation in their own life.
Great.
For me, yoga is my wife, yoga is my children, yoga is for me everything. It is my bread, it is my butter, it is my way of life, and that is what I'm pursuing in my life. So it is not very small thing for me. It is my whole life, and I am dedicated for it. And I am pursuing this path, and I have seen the transformation within myself and how I have evolved, how I gain state of mind, and how have come over a lot of conflicts in the life, and also have been leading and guiding some people in their life when they are in the conflict. Like today itself, there was a question was coming: what to deal with if there is a person with full of negativity, and we have to live with that person and cannot leave. So I said, if you cannot live, it means it is a kind of you are committing suicide by not living, because you are also limited by nature, physically, mentally, or emotionally. You can take things up to certain period of time. Otherwise, after certain period of time, if you are completely drowned with that other person's negativity, it is going to damage your organs. It is going to damage your psychic. And once you fall sick and end up in the hospital, then nobody is going to help you. Then maybe your lovers can bring a flower and say, I'm so sorry that you are sick. But you have to deal your own problems. So one has to be very, for me, very selfish with reference to when it comes to the health and well-being. So I don't say that you have to leave, but you have to create a space and try to help the others which full of negativity. And every individual has born to live their own life. And in the process, in order to live, we also can help each other, because life moves with the other life. So, but in the same time, we don't let ourselves get damaged and live with the suffering. Because if you ask God, did he send it for somebody? Then he will say, no, I have just sent to you. And I have sent thousands and millions of people. You can choose out of them right people and spend your time. You can choose to be with the thorn, or you can choose to be with the flowers. It is all your choice. It is all your freedom. So he will not say that I have punished you or I have rewarded you. He will say, I have given you choice, and your choice was to live with the thorn. So let's live with the thorn. So don't complain to me. And it's all up to you. So this understanding has to come in the mind. And that's what I'm teaching people, Don't live with so much negativity because life is very short and after that you are gone. So best way to bring the positivity and share the positivity. If somebody needs help, help them. If somebody doesn't need help, we try yourself, we don't force your help. So living a life very it is requires a lot of intelligence how to live the life. Otherwise, we are all confused. That's why the whole society we have evolved so much. We have good health system, we have good communication system, we have got good transportation, we have got good meditation, medicine system, hospitals. But you, when you every third person you look and talk and deep down you find this person is very disturbed, very stressed or burnout, something you only hear, not very good thing, except beautiful. So it just means matter something is going wrong. So this will only come when you start understanding the mechanism of your own brain and how your brain and your mind is functioning. So for that you require teaching, and teaching is only possible when you come somewhere who teaches this knowledge. Yeah, about my teaching, basically my teaching is based upon a younger system of yoga, which is a very aligned method of teaching, and which means I can go with very strict instruction, and I can go also with a flexible instruction, which means the according to need of the people, what kind of group is there. So according, I adopt my teaching. So basically, in the teaching, when I am teaching yoga, so physical body for me just as a tool, and this tool means what I focus is how they can bring their mind in this present moment. So coordinating with the breath and the moment. That's the first thing. Second thing, I make them to stay in the posture for that period of time, and that helps them to bring the mind right here and now. And as the end of the class, when we finish our classes, then their mind is very serene, mind is very quiet, and they are very relaxed. So my purpose of the whole teaching is that way when they come out from the class, their mind should be very, very quiet. And that I have been achieving in all my classes. No matter how turbulent the mind of the people might have been, but once they attend my class and then come out my class, they find there is a absolute peace with them. So that is all my methodology. So basically, my all methodology is bringing the mind in a very quiet state, a serene state. And that's what I do. And I am also inputting my philosophy lesson while teaching yoga. And then also explaining how the breath is important to coordinating with the body and the mind. So mind cannot stay absolutely independent from the breath, and body also cannot stay independently from the breath. So breath becomes a bridge between the body and the mind. So main focus during my classes is the breath, connecting tool. So when the breath is balanced, it means you balance your body, you balance your mind. If breath is chaotic, it means mind is going to be chaotic or body is going to be affected. So that is my whole way of teaching. Yeah, this is a very good question. What is the good quality of a yoga instructor? I think yoga instructor anybody can be. Like there are doctor, those who are doctor and surgeon. But if you see their life, being a doctor, they may be smoking, drinking, and having a fight with their wife or the children. So ethically, they are talented in one field where they are having their job and they are successful. They can be great surgeon, but in personal life, they are not. But yoga is totally different. Yoga means you have to imbibe certain qualities within yourself, your ethical values with reference to your food, with reference to what you read, what you study, and how do you live. So that makes the difference when you bring this quality having within yourself and teach. that influences the teaching. And if your personal life has been mess, it doesn't. Let's say you are drinking, alcoholic, druggist, and all these things. And you can be teacher also. There is no problem because this is a physical exercise, but that is not going to help the others because it doesn't give any value for what you are doing. So yoga for me is based upon the yoga life you must imbibe within yourself, and then you teach. Then this going to affect the life of the others. So basically, yoga teaching is you are trying to influence the lifestyle into the student, which is three level: intellectually, mentally, and physically. So all the three level, you have to bring the yogic life in their life. Then it is going to work in all the level because we are not just living on the physical level, even though physical reality is there, but we are having emotional life, we have a mind, we have intellect. So all need to be balanced. If they're not balanced, physically you may be strong and healthy, but your family life will be mess. You may be having the everyday quarrel, or you are all the time depressed, or you are all the time in anxiety, or living insecurity, or insecure. So healthy body doesn't make you healthy life. So healthy life means you have to have right food for the body, right food for the mind, and right food for the intellect. That makes happy. So like if you're alcohol, drinking alcohol, sorry. So naturally your mind have a different impression when you are drunk. In the same way, if you are constantly imbibing negative thoughts, that is going to influence you also. If your knowledge is only for the negativity, you are reading the books, watching the movies, which are full of violence and anxiety and fear. So naturally, your personality is going to be affected. So one has to be very conscious what you put in, and that's what the yoga make the difference, and thus was make the difference in the instructor also.
Great.
Right. So, in fact, I have been traveling and teaching around the Europe and Asia, and I have been dreaming to build up my own center, and which I have got land, a small piece of land, and I am just looking for some sponsors. So, if that sponsors will come, and then I will start building up. That is one plan, and second plan is to reduce to coming to Europe because after COVID, the things have changed. So I have to find a base somewhere in India or Indonesia. So where I will be working more. But still, I would love to travel. And I'm still having a lot of following in Switzerland, Germany, Holland. So I have to keep my students also rich. So I have to now and then keep coming and enrich them with the knowledge and wisdom.